Welcome to the T-Man Rugger Show, your weekly rugby podcast. And as always, I've got my main man, Chandre Van Wyk.
What it do, baby boy?
How are you, man?
I'm good, and you, bro?
I'm lekker. So we've got some awesome news coming out of the T-Man Rugger Show. We're giving away 2 tickets to the big game this weekend. It's the Sharks versus the Bulls at Loftus. Gates open at 11 o'clock. There's going to be a whole lot of entertainment. And all you need to do is to go on to the T-Man Rugger Show on the YouTube channel to subscribe. And in the comment section, just answer a simple question. And then you can win yourself 2 tickets to what promises to be a humdinger, a proper S.A Derby game between the Sharks and the Bulls this Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Anyway, let's get right into the show, Chandre. So URC. So it was a very good weekend for the SA teams. So 3 out of the 4 teams won. And your beloved Stormers. Let's actually start with them, though. So what's happening at the Stormers, man, Chandre?
Hey, bro, I don't want to talk about it, bro. They are playing just putrid rugby. I watched this weekend's game, and in the beginning, like, they were so composed. The way they played was magnificent. Like, everything. Like, they were playing rugby. Was no showboating. And they were just playing a beautiful game.
Yeah.
And then the cancer came on.
What do you mean the cancer came on?
And then they put Warwick Galant on, and then everything just fell apart, bro.
So are you saying that the Stormers lost because of one play, because of Warwick?
The Stormers lost because there were so many key moments where he kept making mistakes because he wants to show off.
I think you guys just want to blame Warwick Galant.
No, bro, I'm not blaming Warwick Galant. I'm telling you exactly what happened. When he came on, automatically we just started losing composure at the back. Started losing composure. They started putting pressure on him. And every single time he touched the ball, it fell out of his hands.
But that whole team, I mean, I personally feel that there was a time when the score were level and you guys could have went for points and you guys didn't take the points.
My brother.
So how do you blame Warwick for that, though?
My brother, let's just listen. I'm gonna explain it to you nicely. This is what happened, right? The beginning of the game, Doc. The beginning of the game, we were on point. Listen to me, on point. We were good under the high balls. When the balls came, the pressure was just relieved because as soon as the ball came to them, they saw that attack coming and they kicked it. And they were just composed. They played a beautiful game. For the first time ever, the first 3 lineouts, the ball went straight. Straight. Do you know how hard it is to throw a ball straight? It's not hard to throw a ball straight from the lineout.
My point is that the Stormers didn't lose because of a certain play.
No, the Stormers lost because key moments in the game, some players let us down. And they keep doing it every single week. Dweba, every single week, the guy can't throw straight. I can't understand it. I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, but Dweba didn't start this game.
I know. That's why.
So that's not the reason.
No, that's not the reason, but I'm just saying there's a few players in the team that keep costing us the game.
No, Dweba definitely has a weakness in terms of line-out throwing.
Yes,
I'm talking about this past weekend's game.
Yes, this past weekend's game.
I'm saying that the Stormers didn't lose because of Warwick Galant.
No, the Stormers lost because of key moments that Warwick Galant was involved in. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying you guys should have taken the points. You guys had the points on offer. You can't blame Warwick for that.
No, there was a... Dude, did you... Bruh, I wish you watched the game. I wish you watched it.
No, I watched the highlights.
You watched the highlights.
Yeah,
you should have watched the game because the highlights won't tell you like exactly what happened. Dude, there were so many key... He broke the line there and lost the ball. The ball fell out of his hand trying to switch. Schoolboy errors. Instead of kicking, there was moments where instead of kicking, he decides to attack the line. Look, I have no problem if you're trying to attack the line. I have no problem. But, bruh, just stop the showboating. This is another question I want to ask you. How many chances do you have to give a player before we say, listen here, it's time to sit on the bench because I don't know what you're playing for. I don't know what you're doing there at the back. I don't know what are you doing? Are you trying to showboat? Are you trying to make it into the Springbok team? What are you trying to do? Because now it's time to win for the Stormers.
With a player like Warwick Galant, this is how it is.
Yes, with a player of his caliber.
Let me answer you. So I'm saying with a player like Warwick Galant, you give him the freedom to express himself, right?
Yes.
When he does do things and it doesn't work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't all of a sudden drop him though. You back Warwick Halant. You guys are not talking about the try assist that Warwick Halant gave Ruan Nel.
Of course we're talking about
you don't
it.
talking about that delayed pass that he gave Warwick Ruan Nel. I mean, Warwick Halant for me, class is permanent. Form is just temporary. Warwick Halant might be going through a bad patch, but boy oh boy, be sure that Boogie will be back.
Okay. I get it. I get it. You get class, all those things you just said now very nicely. You even
No, I'm not
formulated.
saying-
You even formulated the sentence. Class. His class is permanent and form is temporary.
Warwick is class.
But my thing is, clearly we agree that he's not on form. Clearly we agree because the mistakes are more. He makes more mistakes than opportunities.
No, I'm saying
right now, that's what he's doing. He's making more mistakes. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against Warwick Halant. All I'm saying is that how many chances do you give a player? Because now it's 4 games, my brother. It's 4 games, and is making they're doing the same mistakes.
But then again, typical S.A Rugby supporter. You guys, if you guys had it your way, you would literally change the team every week.
No,
So you made a mistake, boom, drop. Get into a play. That's not how it works.
3 games.
In sports,
I say
though.
3 games. I say 3 games because obviously, dude, they must have talked to him. They must have talked to him. If you look at Herschel, if you look at Herschel Yankees,
Yeah.
you look at him. Then I understand at a 9 position, like give the man chance to play because we haven't seen him play really. You understand what I'm saying? We haven't seen him play really. And I also don't understand why he's not starting. Because you want to get him into the groove. You want to let him play a little and then see a little about what he does and get into form and let him kind of like climatize to his playing style. We haven't seen that yet. I don't know what Dobby is doing. But one thing that I know for certain is that this team is making me angry. The reason why it's making me angry is because I'm betting on these games. And if you're blaming me for betting on these games, all these sports teams and sport leagues are in bed with these betting platforms. And so it's a part of the game now. Now, not only am I emotionally invested, my money is also now invested in this thing.
Now
you understand what I'm saying?
Now it makes perfect sense. But
Yes.
anyway, it's a good thing that for the Stormers, I think Mani Lebok is back, Gaza's back, Damien Willems, Dion Fourie. And I don't see any issues that the Stormers will have playing at home. And I think they'll get for me personally, they'll get their campaign back on track. And they will definitely qualify for the playoffs. I mean, I don't see any issues there.
Hey, you got hope, my brother?
That's how confident I am in the Stormers.
You got hope. I don't know, I don't know.
No, they've got a couple of home games in the URC, so they will definitely win most of those games and they'll make the playoffs.
I think if they start with the team that they started with, if they keep that team on the bench on the field, the team that they started with, what was that, Friday night?
But there are going to be changes, obviously.
I know there's going to be changes, but if they can keep that, because that team played with poise, they played. And I can't wait if Mani Lebok joins now.
Yeah,
we're
Mani's
gonna
back.
see what's gonna happen. Mani's back. The team might be gelling nicely. He'll be there as a commander in chief because I always had I don't have a problem with Du Plessis. It's just that I don't like the way he plays. He plays a boring style rugby, and it's predictable. And I just don't like the way he plays. We're going to see when Mani comes back. If nothing against Du Plessis, I'm just saying what I'm saying. He had a great first half. He actually played a magnificent game on Friday night. And I really thought that we were going to win. Because I even sent you a voice note. I'm like, yo, Warwick Halant is out. We're looking nice here.
Well, that's
Dweeba
fine.
is out. We're looking nice here. All I'm saying is, I don't have nothing against those players. They must just rest. Just rest. The coach needs to put his hands on.
But they
Warwick's,
both started on the
Warwick's-
bench, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna help. The bench is not gonna help. Don't put him in the team.
But
That's
I think-
gonna be mentally. It's gonna be mentally. More rewarding for them. Don't put them in the team. Put your hands on his shoulders. Just put your hands on his shoulders and say, "Set this one out, Warwick.
Nah, personally, I don't think
Play
that's going to happen.
better. Play better, and you'll be back." And I promise you, if he does that, Warwick will come back and be like, "Hey, I need to make less mistakes because you are a professional."
But
You
I
are a
guess
professional at the end of the day. You're getting paid to do professional things. And all you have to do is just minimize those mistakes, make good decisions. And for heaven's sake, Stormers, take the points. At any given time, take the points. When there's points on the board, take it. Please.
personally,
Okay, I'm done.
I'm just happy Dobo is the coach and you not the coach.
Oh,
So, and I think that's why Dobo gets. That's why Dobo. That's why Dobo. That's why Dobo gets the big bucks. I'm just happy because you will be changing your team literally every
yeah,
week.
if I went to go study if I went to go study to be a coach, bruh, I'm telling you now, back to back URC champions.
Yeah, that's the problem. You want to go study to be a coach.
No, that's what you need. You need your qualifications.
Yeah, but you don't really study for it. You do practicals.
You do study. It's kind of like studying.
Coaching is like it's a practical thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd be yeah.
But
That's why you're not drop people because you busy studying on the
yeah,
side.
bro.
Probably.
I will be like a half Eddie Jones. You know what I'm saying? You bring a little bit of ego, but then also just remember, you know how the game is played and and trying to mentally, because that's one thing you just have to do with players, bro. Just to know that the more mistakes you make, the less playing time you're gonna get, and that's all you need to fix. Because no one has a problem with the way Warwick plays. Everyone just has a problem with the mistakes he's making in crucial moments. Same with Dweeba. We love him, bro. Tackling, he's a beast. He's strong. He knows how to tackle. He knows how to. His defense is amazing. His attack is amazing. He's an amazing hooker, Springbok level hooker. But the mistakes.
So the next team we're gonna talk about is the Sharks. I mean, they had the Springboks back. They thrashed the Dragons. Nice to see Mapim's back. Got man of the match. Elizabeth scoring a try. And you could just see the difference in class in terms of the Springboks and the players that are playing for the Sharks before. So what is your observation about the Sharks? Do you think that they're actually clicking? It's just one game though, but...
Yeah, it is just one game, and coming from the past couple of games that they played, you can see that they really missed those Springboks. It also just falls into play with Lukanya Amma saying that he was basically saying that the team just isn't gelling right. But let's see what happens with them now that the Springboks are back and they kind of have their form back. But you don't know what's going to happen, because you can say that now and be like, okay, they're clicking. And then the injury happens, and then what? Are they back to losing again? Is it going back to them not clicking? What's going to happen if they do get an injury? What's going to happen if some players are not available? So we'll see what happens with the Sharks. They did play a good game. It was a hard game. It was very physical. So we'll see. I think I have high hopes for them. They have like the most quality players in all of South African sides, you know, compared to the Lions. The Lions, they are looking strong, bro. The Lions are looking magnificent.
Yeah, no, talking about the Lions, I think for me personally, they're probably the most improved team in the URC. I think I started seeing a bit of the magic or the turnaround last season towards the end. Obviously, it helped that they brought in Jacques Fourie to help Cash, and obviously Baron Peters was the forwards coach now. Now you can actually see a clear identity in terms of how they want to play. They've sharpened up the defense. And also talking about the Lions, they've actually extended the contract of 19 to 20 players, I think, 20 if you include Nohamba. So they've signed with the Lions. They've extended the Lions till 2025. So that's very good in terms of keeping the whole core of that team together. And I think I only expect good things and a whole lot of improvement from the Lions. They're definitely the most improved team. And obviously they thrashed the Zebras. So that's by 40, 30 points or so.
Yeah, and they just play like their style of play is like classic South African rugby. You know what I'm saying? Very physical, swing the ball and just score tries, and that's what they did against Zebra. That's just the way they played the game beautifully. I mean that Kriel guy, oh my word, like he's just a superstar. That's a superstar in the making. I actually read an article about them, how a lot of these rugby vloggers are basically talking about how many Springboks are going to come out of that Lion side.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with him. I totally agree with him. I mean, that's the brand of rugby that Springboks play. That's the brand of rugby that South Africans love. Physical, speed. They just have it all.
Yeah. Talking about Creel, he actually has a twin brother that plays at the Bulls though, and the Bulls also had a very good game. Like I said before, it was a very good weekend for South African teams. So the Bulls also beat Connect, that actually beat the Sharks the week before, and that whole you mentioned earlier about the class in the Sharks team. I personally think that in terms of depth, I think the Bulls have got the best depth. I mean, the Sharks might have the Springboks, but I think with Jake, all his bases are covered. He's got enough depth, and I'm actually looking forward to the Sharks versus the Bulls. How do you see that one going? I mean, it's a big game this coming Saturday.
Sharks versus Bulls. I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen. I have no idea. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea at all what's gonna happen. It's two amazing sides coming together. They haven't played each other
This year, yeah.
in a very long time, so it's gonna be exciting to see what happens. I know that both coaches are gonna put their best players on the field, and we're gonna see how that one goes.
But looking at the Sharks and how the Bulls have been playing, I mean, mind you, the Sharks have lost most of the games. They just won last weekend. The Bulls are sort of in the top three. How do you see it going? Do you think that the Bulls have an upper hand in terms of log positions? I mean, they're third
I
in the
mean,
log.
if you have to look at it in a different way, what I've seen from the Bulls, especially from their last performances, they kind of like lose steam towards the end, and I don't know if it's fitness or are the games just so physical. We don't know even if it's maybe just the conditions that they're playing in
Yeah.
overseas. But I could see at the 70th minute, like those players had nothing left, and they're literally like running on fumes. And that's how they lost that one game, just by the other team just bombarding them with
Yeah.
phase after phase, and they kind of broke through. And yeah, man, that's the only like critique I have of the Bulls. The Sharks, we're going to see. I mean, we just mentioned all their Springboks being back.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see what happens. But I think that the Bulls have a better chance this season. Don't want to comment on the Stormers right now. But the Sharks, we're going to see what happens. They've lost a few and they just won. So we'll see how they get up the log. But the Bulls have definitely a better chance. They've got a better team, as you said earlier. They've got depth in their squad. We'll see if they can push it, because when we get to the middle of the season, that's where we actually see the true forms of teams and the true spirit of them and what they can accomplish. Because by that time, the log will be like kind of like a little bit, the dust will kind of like settle,
Yeah.
and we'll see which way the competition goes. But one thing I can say for sure is these Northern Hemisphere teams are not playing around, eh? They are strong, they are fast, they are playing a brand of rugby that is just to their style, just loose, and they're breaking the lines. You know how many times they've broken the lines of South African defenses just brilliantly with skill and poise, and the way they pass the ball. It's amazing to watch. So we'll definitely see when the dust settles. Munster, it's just amazing rugby to watch.
Okay. So let's talk about so the S.A Rugby player nominees have been announced. So obviously in the main category, S.A Rugby Player of the Year, we've got Evan Etzebeth, we've got Peter Steff, we've got Sia, got Damien Willemse, and Franz Malherbe. I think that's the category that most people will be looking forward to. How do you see that one going? Okay, first of all, out of those five that I mentioned, who will be your top three teams in terms of who had the best year? Which three players?
I would say I would definitely put Sia up there.
Sia,
Yeah, I
okay.
would definitely put Sia up there just for his captaining ability, and
But this is playing.
yeah, this is playing.
So you think
It's
Sia's top three
yeah,
for
like
you?
being a leader and being a captain is literally part of the game. Like, it's part of playing, and his leader role had a massive influence in that World Cup win. also his playing ability. I mean, how many tackles, how many times did he break lines? Peter Steph the Toit also definitely up there. It's difficult to choose because he had one amazing game where he literally like smashed the New Zealanders, just making tackle after tackle, tackle after tackle. Even Etzebeth had a good tournament, like all round. Do you understand? Every game, he put in the work and like. Elizabeth. He did the things. The whole tournament, he played magnificent, broke lines, scored tries, was just part and just handled his business the whole tournament through. So I think if I have to put it into order, I would say Etzebeth winning, Peter Steph the Toit, and then Sia.
Oh, so that's your top three. No, fair enough.
That's if I had to put it into an order, I would basically put it
personally,
like
my
that.
top three is very simple. So it's Evan, Peter Steph, and Damian Willemse. I think Gaza had an awesome season, and I think for me, it's just the coming of age of Damian Willemse. It's always been a schoolboy wonder. I mean, we're always looking forward to him actually making it on the big stage. And I actually realized now that Damien has got 7 years as a pro because he started playing for the Stormers straight out of high school. And that's normally as a pro player, that's when you start developing and just maturing. And I'm just so happy for Damien Willemse. And hopefully going forward, he can just kick on and just become the player that we always thought he would. And so my top three, I think even Etzebeth for me is should win best player, and obviously Peter Steph and Damien is the other two. But I think Elizabeth will win the award. So the other award was the junior player. So we've got Kanan Moody, we've got Jaden Hendricks, Ivan Ruiz, he's still a youngster though, Ruan Fenter, and Sasha Feinberg Gomezul.
Hey,
Another tough one.
That's another tough one. I would definitely give it to Kanan Moody, just for the tries he scored and the flair that he's been doing. Sasha definitely as well. That's a tough group of players to judge, because all of them are amazing. And they bring their own sort of flair to the game. So I can't choose there. But I think if I have to, I would give it to Kanan Moody. I think he really showed what he's got. And this is just the beginning for him. So we can clearly see like so much more to come. So Rookie of the Year, basically, I would give it to Kanan Moody.
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, I think Kanan might just win that, but it all depends on the cat in terms of how do they measure who's because if you go, because Sasha won obviously the under 20 championship with Western Province, and he was the captain. But now Kanan obviously played in the World Cup, and he had a couple of good games. The one was the All Blacks just before the World Cup. The one was Wales. And I think the one was Australia at Loftus just before the World Cup. So, and Kanan won it last year. So I don't see any reason why Kanan shouldn't win it again this year. So I mean, for me, those are the two main categories. And obviously there are other categories like Coach of the Year, which is obviously Jog. Team of the Year, the Springboks.
Can we really say Jacques is the Coach of the Year?
I mean, he's won the World Cup.
Yeah, but did he really though?
He won the World Cup.
Because all of us, like, you can say that, like, we have nothing against Jacques. It's just that we know what happened, bro. We know who was in control.
Jacques does the coaching. He's the head coach of the Boks.
Yeah, I understand that. We understand it on paper. Yes.
Yeah.
On paper, yes. But clearly we can see that Rassi was definitely the man. How do you call this thing? Moving the anchor. He was the man playing the game, making the calls. So it's that for me, and that's just being honest. No BS, just honesty. Clearly, if we could, but Rassi probably doesn't qualify.
No, Rassi wouldn't qualify because he was not the coach.
He was not the coach.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one for me to decide on that one. It's a really tough one.
But it's simple. You give it to the guy.
I'll give it to Dobby. I think Dobby was a.
Yeah, but now Dobson lost the final, a URC final.
Yeah,
Is that your stomach's bias
I
coming
know,
in?
no, but it's not my stomach's buying. We're talking about South Africans, Moss.
No, it is. I mean, why? Okay, so why? Okay,
That's what I'm saying. That's what my problem is. Like, my problem is like, should we really give it to? Like, if you like, that means that he will win despite technicality.
Oh, but he was the head coach.
He was the head coach.
Yeah, so you
But
should
we
win it.
all know what happened.
No, that's your view. That's your view.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. The only thing I know is that Chuck was the coach. That's what I know.
Okay, don't worry. We still love you, Jacques. We still love you. It's just
So obviously, team of the year. I mean, that's pretty obvious. That's the Springboks.
yes, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty
So I think
much.
that's sort of the major categories that I had a look at, and I want to talk about. So there's two issues here. There's the one with Archie Snyman. So Archie's contract will not be renewed by Munster. So I want to get your view in terms of. So the main reason I think it will be the fact that Archie has hardly played for Munster. I think in the last 4 years he's got 2 serious knee injuries, and he has basically played more for the Boks than he has played for Munster in the last 4 years. So that's give or take, that's less than 30 games in 4 years. So do you think then a club is right in terms of not to renew your contract?
Yes, yes. I would also not renew your contract. I'm just paying you for what?
So even if a player, you have a world-class player, you wouldn't consider...
If your player is injury prone,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden he can play World Cup.
But he came back and he won you the URC as well.
Yes, I understand that, but you're injury prone.
Yeah.
This is what you must understand is that this is a business. At the end of the day, it's a business, and you want to win trophies. And this business is all about winning trophies. And if a player is not playing and is always injured, and you have that experiences when it comes to you, just cut ties. Just cut your ties.
So then why wouldn't you rather than insert a clause in the contract in terms of you extend it by a year, and then if he plays so many games, he gets so much? Why wouldn't you rather do that? Why would you not renew at all?
Because you don't want to do that. I mean, the player is getting older.
No, Archie is still, what, 28?
Yes, 28.
So that's not old.
It's not old at all. But I mean, all I'm saying is that with all those injuries, and being 28, after 2 years until 30, and those injuries they keep accumulating, and they keep accumulating. They put pressure on you as on his body as well. So what you do is, and this is just me, I would cut my ties early, knowing that, listen here, maybe it's also just fate, because every time he must play, he's injured or can't play. I would let's just cut my ties and just let him go, and then
So you wouldn't look at other alternatives.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't look at any other alternatives. I wouldn't. We played you as much as we could. We're having problems now. So it's just better we cut ties and we can use that time to develop another player.
No, fair enough. I mean, that's ultimately what Munster decided. So we'll see where Archie actually ends up.
I mean, 28 still has a future.
Yeah,
There's still a lot of playing time for him. But normally when it's knees, bro. Knees is that's another injury that affects
luckily
everything.
this time it's not actually his knee though. So he's got a chest injury. But I'll see. I would like to see where he actually ends up. Does he go to a South African team, or does he go overseas, or does he go play in Japan even? I just hope that if he plays for an SA team, it's not like a team where you have like 2 competing fives. You know what I mean? Like when you have 2 positions, 2 players fighting for the Springbok position that are playing at the same team, same position. I feel that always doesn't work out the best way. So maybe go to a team like the Bulls. We'll see.
We'll see. It depends on what his agent probably organizes for him. But yeah, I think there's a lot of teams that would want him. If he would go to Japan, make some money, or go anywhere. Like he's as you said, he's 28. Still has a lot of playing time. And hopefully the injuries subside and he looks after himself a little bit better. Yeah. Lay off that brandy and coke. And
but he's definitely having it now though.
Yeah, so he must just lay off that, let the acid, get the acid out of your body, bro. Get some alkaline powder in there. And then we'll see how far it goes. But yeah, if I was Manta, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, but I think Jake already has him on speed dial. Knowing Jake White. Anyway, so the other scenario is a certain Wandile Simelane, one of my favorite schoolboy players. Actually, when he was lighting up Craven Week that year, I think it was the same year when Damien Willems and them were playing for, I think Damien Willems was playing for Province. We had Gianni Lombard, we had Tyron Green. I call that the Wanza week, that Craven Week. So this is the scenario right now. So Wandile Simelane is not getting game time at the Bulls. So Jake promised him that join the Bulls, I'm going to make you a utility player. So Wandile is a 13. So he started playing at 15 on the wing, didn't get game time. So rumor has it now he's actually back at the Sharks. So I want to ask you, do you think that enough gets done in terms of developing players and playing players in their position and giving players an opportunity, like a proper like 5, 6, 7, 8 games? I mean, how is Wandile going to get form if he's playing one game here, one game there?
You see, it's a tricky thing, that especially when it comes to coaching, because you're gonna always have to put the players that you feel fit your playing scheme better.
Sure.
You know, so if Wandile didn't fit the program or the playing style, if you didn't fit that, it's a difficult thing to do, because now, especially when you buy a player, and it's because these discussions and things, decisions get made, and all of those decisions are not normally, how can you say, are not always the head coach that says, I want this. Sometimes people come together and they're like, listen here, we think that you should get this player. And the coach is like, why? No, we just know that this could be a central part of the team. The player comes over, they acquire him, he's there, and now they're playing. And now the coach is like, no, but this guy isn't fitting in here. He's not playing the rugby that we want to play. I'm going to bench him. And sometimes the player comes over and there's just someone better in that position. And that's always going to happen. There's always going to be someone better than you. But as they say, no one cares, work harder. So when it comes to player development, I think the development needs to happen with you, you know. You have to keep working hard. We've had these discussions with Lionel, with JR. It's about you just keep working and working and working until like you and learn how to play the scheme that they want you to play, so the coach can see that you want to be in it. But getting games, it's hard, bro. It's hard.
No, I hear you, but
I think that maybe you should actually take a player and make them. I mean, if you're not getting first team play time, I mean, just drop down, play B team.
Yeah, but the thing is, in this scenario, what actually happened, or I've got on good authority that what happened is that Jake obviously had a talk with Wandile, and him being an ex Jeppy Boys, Jake promised him game time at the Bulls. You know what I mean? Obviously, you can never guarantee game time, and then Jake just never gave him opportunities. I mean, I understand when a player is not performing or whatever, but I mean, Wandile didn't have like a scenario where he had like 3, 4, 5 games in a row to gain back confidence. Take for instance, Manny Lebok. I mean, when Manny Lebok joined the Stormers, I think Dobson has mentioned it. He had one shocker against the Sharks, and the first thing Dobbo did after that game is to tell Manny that I'm backing you for the rest of the year, so don't worry about that. So I'm backing you, and obviously with the confidence that Dobbo showed in Manny, I mean, yeah, we have a couple of months later, Manny became a Springbok. All I'm saying is that Wandile didn't get the opportunities he deserved at the Bulls.
But you have to see something that you want to back. Remember, these are all personal opinions. So maybe Jake White did promise him, listen, yeah, I'm going to give you those game downs, what. And then Jake White just didn't see that. Didn't see that thing.
But you have to see it. You have to play the player to see it.
I understand that, but as you said that...
How are you going to see it if you don't play the player?
You probably... They see it more than often, more than we do. They see it when they practice. They see it when... in a game where they play together, they practice together. The coaches are there all the time. And if you're going to compare Manny Lebok and Dobbo's situation to Jake White, it's not going to be the same, because Dobbo probably sees something in Manny that all of us now see. We see what Manila Bok can be. We see what his future holds, right? We see that magic. Not and Double probably saw it in practice and saw it like, oh, that's just a bad game. Oh, this is just another bad game. Oh, that's just another bad game. But we see the potential. We see the future. We see that you will become what the greatest fly off that South Africa's ever seen. We can see it, right? You can remind me of that time Pat Lambie. When we saw Pat Lambie play, we knew, you could see it. And even if he had a bad game, you like, this Lighty is incredible. And you see it when Manila Bok plays. So maybe Jake White promised him all those things and brought him over and just didn't see it anymore. And it happens because it's just opinions of select few people, and no one should take it too hard because it's just opinions. You see something and all of a sudden you don't see it, and now you don't get
But
game
Mane is
time.
a perfect example. Mane went to the Bulls, he didn't get opportunities, right? The same Mane. He went to the Sharks, he didn't get opportunities, right? And then he goes to the Stormers, he gets opportunities, he plays.
Yes,
So that's
because
how you become the player that you are, because you need opportunities. There was no way Mane would have been a Bok, right? If Dobson didn't back him, if Dobson didn't play. All I'm saying is that a player like Wanza, who's got all the talent in the world, probably for me, he's very close to Lucanio Arm in terms of talent, based on talent only. He's a very good 13, and he showed that at the Lions. I mean, he was ripping defenses to part with a fleet foot and everything. The only problem I've got is coaches not giving players an opportunities. And I just hope that Wandile can actually get opportunities at the Sharks. He can sign that loan deal and probably make it permanent next season.
the only time will tell. But as I'm saying is, if dude, it's a competitive sport, bro. There's so many other players, and there's only a few times coaches will back you and believe in you.
But those players are
And
not better
you
than
have
Wandile.
to, but you have to make the coach believe in you. It's a tough thing. Because the only thing left that we can say is like, if the coach doesn't give you opportunity, he just maybe doesn't like you, doesn't like your attitude or whatever it is that you have,
Or maybe-
chip on your shoulder, whatever it is, and he just doesn't want to give you game time because we are still human beings at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
all of those things come into effect. Maybe he just doesn't like the way he sounds, or doesn't like the way he talks to other players, or talks to staff, or whatever it is that he's not getting opportunities because, as you say, he's talented, he's close to look on your arm. And I wanted to just like zone in on that. Once you say close to,
On
you see
talent
what I'm
alone,
saying?
without a doubt.
On talent alone.
Without a
But
doubt.
the word close to, that means he's not there yet. He's close, but he's not there.
But
And that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Now, if you take that, if you take what you just said now and you give it to Jake White, and Jake White is like, yeah, but you're close to Lucanio Arm. You are not Lucanio Arm. You're not at his level. You're close to that level, but you're not at this level. And this other 13 that I have here, he's at that level. So I can't give you a spot yet.
But there's the thing, no 13 at the Bulls was on Lucanio's level. And Wandile just didn't get opportunities. It's fine. If Jake didn't play Wandile for other reasons except rugby reasons, that's Jake's issue. But the thing is, you must be choosing players on rugby abilities. But it's just unfortunate. I just hope Wandile personally can just make it at the Sharks, like I said previously, and
But
just
it's-
get that deal, and hopefully sign for the Sharks.
But if the
going
same
forward.
thing happens at the Sharks, if he goes to the Sharks and the same thing happens there where he's not getting opportunities because it's a competitive sport. If you're gonna play 2 games and you're not gonna perform in those 2 games, bruh.
But that's the thing, we will never know.
Yes, you'll
We will
never know because you
But-
have to take those opportunities.
But there must be a
when
reason
they
why he was
happen.
playing at the Lions. There must be a reason. Because he's that good.
We don't know. Maybe he was in a different mental state. Maybe he was at the top of his game. Maybe that's the best he will ever
Or
play.
maybe he wasn't given opportunities. maybe.
You keep with us opportunities.
That we saw. He wasn't given opportunities. But anyway, so Rugby 365 actually released their best 15. So to note, it's the best Springboks that have played at a Rugby World Cup.
All-time Springbok team.
All-time Springbok team that has played at a World Cup. So I know a couple of people on socials have talked about Danny Gerber should be in that team. and certain other players. But unfortunately, those players didn't play in a World Cup. So it's strictly players that have played in a Rugby World Cup. So we've got, I think, when you start with the front row, we've got Os Durant as the loose head. We've got Malcolm Marx as the hooker. We've got Bali Swart. Yo, I was still lighty. Bali Swart.
He was.
Bali Swart as a tight head. Who would you have as your front row?
I think I would stick with that. I'll just put what's the name in there. Eh? For me, I would put
France.
no. I'll put the ginger plum in there.
So you'll have Kutsov as your starting loose head.
Yes, I would have Kitsoff as my starting loose there.
So you're gonna keep Bali even though you didn't watch him play.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I
And then-
would. Just the best prop I've ever seen play is
Kutsov.
Kitsoff. I've never seen a loose head contest for the ball like that, like a 7, just like a
But then
contest for the ball, like a flanker, chase after the ball, be competitive at the breakdown like Kitsoff is. I think he is like probably the greatest loose head prop the Springboks have ever had.
Oh, okay. No, fair enough. So why would you keep Bali if you've never watched Bali play? Why would you rather put Malherbe there? Well, how old are you? 95.
I
Maybe.
was 5 years old. I wouldn't put my hair, but there. I wouldn't.
So you'll keep.
I would
Bali.
put. You know who I would put that? But you see, it's spring. It's just that it's Springboks. I've never paid attention. If you can think, would you even put? I don't know. I don't know. I would just leave. That's the only change
you
I
would
would
leave it
put
like-
in, because I've
Okay.
never actually watched Malherbe play that way. You know, it kind of like every time I watch the game, Malherbe kind of like just fades in with the rest. You
Yeah,
know, have
but
you
you
ever
will-
watched like just players that just fade in with the team?
No, with Malherbe,
Like you
I
never
mean, if
see
you-
anything special. It's just a fade in.
But he does his
fades
job.
in.
I mean, he
I know
gives-
he does. I'm
yeah.
just saying that he just fades in with the obviously his quality. You know what I'm saying? Obviously there's quality.
So
It's
then
just
why
that
why wouldn't you have
it's-
him there?
You know what I'm saying? If you look at it like this, if you have to bring it into soccer terms, right? You look at it like this: greatest wings ever, David Beckham, and what's the other guy? Owen, what's his name? He was playing on the other side of the wing.
No idea.
Yeah. Anyway, both amazing players, but Beckham is just Beckham. But the other guy also amazing, but he just flowed into the game. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so bring it back to rugby. So you would keep Bali Swarat as your tight head. So let's move on
Yes.
to the locks. So we've got Evan Etzebeth as your 4 lock
Yes.
and Victor Matfield as your 5 lock. So any changes there personally?
I think I would leave it like that, eh? I don't think there's any other better locks. I think that's
Your lock pairing.
yeah.
And then obviously the loose forward, we've got Sia at 6, we've got Peter Steff at 7, and Dwayne Vermeulen at 8.
Sia. I don't know. Don't know about a Sia.
I mean,
All
what-
time.
That's a
But
back.
I think
That's a back-to-back captain. I mean, he's
yeah,
won.
back-to-back captain. You have to put him in. But then, yeah, bruh, what about Skalkberger, bruh?
No, that was my thing. The thing
What
is,
about Skalkberger?
I would personally then move Skalk to 7. So I will have C at 6, Skalkberg at
Skalk
7,
at 7, yes.
and Dwayne Vermeulen at 8. Because there's no way any Bok team of mine.
Will not have
Will not have
Skalkberger.
Skalkberger. Yeah.
Because that was definitely the best flanker this country has ever seen.
For me, that's the best forward I've seen.
Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
just is absolutely amazing. Yeah, man, Skalkberger, I mean, how can he not even be on that list?
Yeah, but I think it was more because he played 6 and C has won 2 World Cups. So personally, what I would do then, I would just, unfortunate for Peter Steff, I would put Skalk at 7 and then Dwayne at 8. And
I
then
mean, Peter Steff the Toit, also 2-time world champion, which you can't overlook. But I know sometimes we're biased when we look at our favorite teams, especially when you grow up and you basically your childhood is these Springbok superstars, and you kind of carry them in your heart. And as you bring them forward, and now there's new champions, bringing new memories for new children. And I mean, this achievement is a massive one. I mean, back to back.
yeah, I mean, he'll forever be in history, man.
Yeah, it will forever be in history. And as we go, so Peter Stifton. It's a tough one, bro. It's a very tough one, and I can see that the people who chose us also probably had these headaches.
No, it's actually a very, very good team. I think that's why selection is very tough. So they have Farid Dupree as your scrum half.
I mean, he is the best. He is the best scrummer, but there've been so many, bro.
Yeah, but Farid was next level.
There's been so many. There's been so many great ones.
But January was not in Farid's class.
Yeah, I
They
know.
were not in the same bracket.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to choose because now you're taking your childhood memories. Yeah, no, I think he can stay. He can stay at 9. He can stay. Farid can definitely stay at 9. He can stay there.
You're talking as if it's close. It's not even close. No way. Not with Farid. It's not even close. So number 10 is your back-to-back number 10, man. Pollard. That's who they've chosen.
I saw they put Pollard there. I don't know. I don't know about
because the only other 10s you can actually put there is Joe Stransky or Butch James. You know what I mean?
Butch James.
But then if you put in Butch, you need to get a kicker then. Your fullback needs to be a kicker because Butch was not good at kicking for Pokes.
Then Andre Pollard.
So you stick
I think
with Pollard.
because he topples. Once you put that back-to-back world champion, it kills everything, bro.
Yeah, even the kicking to post.
Yeah, kicking, it just kills everything.
And then 11, they've got Brian Habana.
Fully agree with that.
S.A legend.
Fully agree with that. Brian Habana, absolute legend.
Yeah.
The best wing there's the best wing ever.
I think a certain Cheslin might have something to say about that.
No. I don't think Cheslin comes even close to Brian Habana, bro.
Chesy boy.
I love Cheslin. Look, I love Cheslin, but Brian Habana, bruh.
Yeah.
Brian Habana, dog.
But one thing we can agree is that they're both world class. I mean,
they're both world class. I mean, Brian Habana has won everything.
Yeah.
Under the sun.
Sure.
His career he's Brian Habana.
And Cheslin won back to back.
Yeah, Cheslin won back to back, and that's why Cheslin is at 14.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that number 11 is a very hard number because this. On the other side, if it wasn't for back-to-back, I would have literally just put Brayton Paulser at 14.
And leave out JP Peterson.
Oh, my word. You see now, I can't choose.
JP won the World Cup at 07.
Yeah, but this is my thing. Bro, most of these guys that we are mentioning are World Cup champions.
Yeah.
But the back-to-back just kind of topples them over. So it's a very hard thing to choose, man. We've had incredible wings, bro.
So who are your wings? You sticking with Habana at 11?
I'm sticking with Habana at 11.
Cheslin at 14.
We have to kind of choose Cheslin at 14.
Not you have to. Cheslin chooses himself at 14. This guy. The disrespect on Cheslin.
You kind of, there's been so many. Do you know how many amazing wings we've had since the beginning of time? Since South Africa decided, guys, let's play rugby.
But none of those 14s ever scored in a World Cup final now, did they?
You can say that.
So 12, Franz Steyn. That's a bit of a... I think that's one that got people talking.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, Franz was magnificent at 07, and obviously he was a big part of that 2019 team. But is he the best 12 we've had?
No, he's a blender. He's a blender.
I'll go with Damien Dallender.
Yes.
I'll go with Damien.
Actually, I don't know.
Damien will be my 12. Because some other people were saying John de Villiers, but then John has got injured 07. So he didn't really play the World Cup.
An amazing center. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one.
Personally, mine, it's Damien Dallender.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Damien.
I'll agree with Damien on that one.
13, they've got Jacques Fourie. Mossy, as they call him. Jacques Fourie.
What about For me, I'm a...
Yeah, I think it's between Lucanio...
Just because he missed this World Cup now.
It's between Lucanio and Jacques Fourie.
I think just because he missed this World Cup, he would have definitely been in there. I think Lucanio is a world-class player. One of the best centers to ever touch the ball.
That's a very, 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 very tough one. I think for me, if you have a 12 like Damien Dallender, to balance it out, I would then play Arm at 13. Because Damon Deland is more physical, he gains meters, you know what I mean? So I'll have a bit of flair and at 13.
Strength.
Yeah, just to balance out my backline. So personally, I would go with Lucanio Arm at 13.
Yep.
And then fullback, they've got the Rolls Royce, Andre Joubert. I didn't see much of him though.
I think that's a no. I don't agree with
It's
that.
even an old nickname,
bruh.
Rolls Royce.
I don't even know. I've also never seen him play.
I've seen him play like twice, thrice, but that was for the Sharks. But
I don't know.
Who do you choose at fullback then? Because you can. It's either,
Percy Montgomery played fullback now.
yeah, so it's either
Yes,
Percy.
I would. I think that's my choice. My choice would be Percy Montgomery at
Percy
fullback.
Montgomery at fullback.
All time best fullback. Percy
World Cup.
Montgomery.
They played in the World Cup.
Yeah,
So Percy
World
did,
Cup. Yeah. I think Percy Montgomery definitely at fullback.
Yeah. I think for me, I'll just be a bit biased. I'll go with Damien Willemse. Because the other two, it's between Damien. I mean, it's Damien and Villy. And personally, I will just go with Gaza.
I mean, Damien is still very young, man, and he's still got a lot of things. He'll probably make that list and bump off
that's what I'm
whoever's
saying.
on that thing. But for now, as it stands now, all time.
I'll also be Jake White. I'll choose my favorites.
Yeah, so choose your favorites.
Yeah, so
bro.
that's Damien Willemse.
Choose your favorites, but you can't choose your favorites now. It's all time. So all time, definitely, I say Percy Montgomery at fullback.
Okay.
That's how I would do.
I still go with Gaza. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what obviously, I mean, people on social media have been obviously bringing their teams forward, but it was an interesting team set up by Rugby 365, a very good team, and yeah, it got people talking in terms of who would they prefer and stuff like that. Yeah, and then some good news that came out in the last week or so is that there's finally a venue for next year's Craven Week. So the Craven Week for next year will be hosted at Hoërskool Monument in Krugersdorp. And that's the under-18 Craven Week. The under-13 Craven Week will be down at Loftus. And personally, I don't know about you, Chandra. I'm looking forward to schoolboy rugby next year. I think we've got the best schoolboy rugby. And yeah, getting excited for that already, man.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Yeah, we can't wait. We're going to see what that Craven Week brings. New talent. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
So our Springboks for 2031.
Yes,
we'll see them next year at Craven Week.
Work hard, boys. Work hard.
So yeah, so that brings us to the end of the show. And don't forget, we're giving away 2 tickets to the Bulls vs Sharks game. Promises to be a very, very good game. Gates will be open very early. There's going to be lots of entertainment at Loftus. Game starts at 3 p.m. All you need to do is to go on the T-Man Raga Show YouTube channel, subscribe, and answer a very easy question in the comment section, and you can win yourself 2 tickets. From my side, adios.
Shop, shop.